Starting out the news on a sad note today, a debilitating note, a limp dick note. What are we going to do? Price changes for those of you in Australia and New Zealand, and because I stream at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, I know a lot of you Australians are out there in the chat today feeling pretty sad right now because the price of your WoW is officially going up. That's right, a 1-month price is now $19.95. For those of you in Australia, the 1-month sub that has been pretty consistent for most of us around the world for a long time has now increased. It looks like, what was your previous, guys? What were you previously paying before this? Because now it's $23.95. Oh my God. That price was the original price. So this is an Australian dollar. So $19.95, now $23.95. Oh my God. Oh no, that sucks. It does. How many of you Americanos out there in the chat would continue to pay if they raised the price to $19.99 instead of or what is it right now? $15.99? Is that what we pay? I've been paying it for so long I don't even remember. But I always thought my WoW sub's $15. That's how I always calculated in my head. I don't know if I'd continue to pay. Actually, I do. I'd continue to pay. I'm a fucking degenerate, but it would hurt a little bit more. I'd have to go to my accountant, that is my wife, and let her know, like, hey, we got a little bit of a budget increase here. You know, WoW is still is becoming a little bit more expensive. It's a bit sad, right? Oh, what is this? Interrupting the news for what? That's right. It's the double BNet mount giveaway. I'm a man of the people. We're pushing for partner. And because you guys are in here every morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, you're going to get yourself some points. That's right. Watch 1 hour of this shitty stream and you will get a point to enter into the giveaway where you can pick 2 mounts. Any 2 mounts off the Blizzard BNet store, and they will be yours. Giveaway ends at the end of this month, January 31st. Now, will this need to lead to changes here in North America with the U.S. dollar and everything else? I don't know. I don't know if it will. I feel like a lot of you guys were talking about this in Discord last night, saying that you would not continue to pay if the price went up. I think Blizzard's got their finger on the pulse here. Maybe they won't. I hope that things like store mounts and WoW tokens and everything kind of offset inflation a little bit so they don't have to raise the prices, because I do think that the price of the WoW sub currently sits at where it should be. Now, I know it hasn't changed since its basically inception, but I just can't imagine paying more than $15 a month, honestly, for a WoW sub, which is kind of ridiculous because I pay more than that for other subs to other things that don't give me as much content as WoW gives me. But it's just like, you got to buy the expansion. You got to buy everything else. You really going to make me pay more than $15? Yeah, it's been $15 forever. And I hope that stays that way. The WoW token is going up. Yeah, I saw that too. WoW token right here, $32 for this one to buy it. Obviously, because it's directly correlated to the price of the WoW sub. So if the WoW sub goes up, the WoW token goes up. So we'll have to see if these price hikes continue. We saw these not too long ago with basically other countries. I think Brazil and South America, a bunch of them got price hikes. So this continues to happen. We'll see if it eventually makes it to the mainland USA. But hopefully, for now, it remains the same. Moving on to some more positive news. Upcoming liberation of Undermine raid testing. That's right, the schedule is now out. Raid testing is about to begin, and by about, I mean this Friday. That's right. It is about to begin this Friday. We'll be seeing Styx, Bunk Junker, tested first, and then we'll get, these are all heroic testing, then we'll see 3 other bosses tested. Friday, January 17th, we'll be seeing a bunch of other bosses tested, 3 more here, and then normal full raid testing, except Gallywix. Looks like they're going to go with the theory that they've been going with lately, where they keep the final boss a secret until it's actually released. We won't see Gallywix probably until the first couple Race to World First boys get over there. But for now, they'll be tested on, January 17th and January 23rd. Mythic testing begins January 24th. We'll see Mythic and Raid Finder testing begin. If you want to get into some of this stuff, get on the PTR and get in there and start raid testing. Of course, again, that begins on Friday. Not only will there be raid testing, but more importantly, dungeon testing. That's right, Season 2 of The War Within, Mythic Plus running, and everything else is going to be important. Why is it going to be important? Because, well, Season 1 was a dud. Let's be honest. Season 1 sucked. Season 1 of The War Within was the failure of The War Within to launch. I liked a lot of things about The War Within. I'm still having fun playing the game, but I will say this season of Mythic Plus was my least favorite season in quite a while. It really was. So hopefully they fix a lot of these things, and it looks like they're making an effort to fix a lot of these things because of how they're going to be doing testing. So here it is. We see if you just want to break it down by weeks and stuff, it starts January 7th, which is in fact today. We got Operation Floodgate, which is the new dungeon, right? That's the brand new one, probably going to need the most testing. So that one's coming out today. Then we got week 2 with the War Within dungeons, the ones that are going to be part of the rotation for Mythic Plus. Week 3, you got your Legacy dungeons that'll be part of the rotation of Mythic Plus. We got Mechagon, Workshop, Motherlode, Theater of Pain. And then week 4, you got your War Within dungeons plus Floodgate again, which is good. You want Floodgate to kind of, be tested a lot. Legacy dungeons plus Floodgate, and then all Season 2 dungeons will be tested in week 2. Now, week 6, I should say. Now, Blizzard did say that they're refining the testing, right? They are creating a new format to better concentrate feedback and facilitate larger content and balance updates between each PTR cycle. Alongside the daily rotation of affixes of +2 to +12 keys, each week will spotlight a subset of Season 2 dungeons focusing on testing, which is important. They need to make sure that not only do these dungeons feel good, but they're not too hard. One reason why Dragonflight, and if you didn't play Dragonflight, I feel bad for you for this reason. Mythic Plus and Dragonflight was chef's kiss. It was amazing. It was great. Season 3 in particular was very, very good. I enjoyed a lot of Mythic Plus back in Dragonflight. It was the first time, honestly, that I was getting Keystone Master as quickly as I was, and that's because the dungeons weren't too difficult. The affixes weren't too difficult. Everything just felt like it was just right. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that, and it was sad when Season 1 of War Within came out, and it felt like it was just a slap to the face. It was a very difficult thing to deal with, and it's just not fun. I haven't been doing it. I still don't have Keystone Master. Here we are with like 1 month left in the season, and you can call me a noob for that, but the truth is I've just been avoiding it because I haven't been enjoying it. I'm a tank, first of all, so all the tanking changes were absolutely horrid. They made Mythic Plus that much less enjoyable in and of themselves, plus the Mythic Plus rotation and everything else just isn't good right now with the affixes and everything. What up, Shapke? How's it going? Good morning. First time chatter. So it is what it is. We'll see how things continue forward, but for now, they're testing to try to get as much feedback as possible. We got affix updates as well. We have a number of adjustments to affixes. They're saying supporting systems available for testing. Affixes will cycle each day in the PTR realm. So the new affix for Xal'atath's Bargain, the Pulsar. While in combat, Xal'atath summons Pulsars to orbit players and must be intercepted within a time limit. This affix replaces Xal'atath's Bargain Oblivion. Now that sounds like a good affix, right? Why does it sound good? Because it's a brain-dead affix. You just go get the fucking orbs. You don't have to think about it too much, which is what you want. I don't like affixes that require you to suddenly have 16 add-ons and remember 13 different mechanics. So this is a good thing. I think this one will be decent. Xal'atath's Guile, redesigned now to now causes Keystone above 12 to increase health and damage of enemies by 12% per level instead of 10% per level. Okay, so they want ramping damage increases. That's what they want, basically. They want Keystones to get harder and harder as you move up. And then Xal'atath's Bargain Voidbound. Dark Prayer. Oh, God. What is this? Xal'atath's Bargain Voidbound. Dark Prayer is no longer a channel. The Void Emissary no longer grants damage reductions to creatures while active. Dark Prayer now has a 15-second cast time. It grants all nearby creatures in combat Xal'atath's Gift when it finishes casting, and the potency of Xal'atath's Gift granted by Dark Prayer is based on the remaining shield percentage of the Void Emissary. So, DPS it down. That's it. That one hasn't changed much. Break down the shield to have less shield to deal with once it's gone. So we'll see how all of that ends up finishing out. Keystone Legend attaining 2,850 will offer players a quest that prevents Keystone levels from level 12. So this prevents, this is the new anti-depletion thing, right? So no more depletion on keys. Keys beyond level 12 will no longer go below level 12 once you've reached that Keystone level of 2,850. And then players can still speak to Lindori to lower keys if they want to. This includes Keystone level decay from the Great Vault. So that's great. If you're a Keystone pusher, right, that's what you do all season. You don't want your Keystone to drop because of a bad group too much. So that's fine. Me personally, the change I kind of wish they would make, whatever, make it about lives instead of the timer. Or the number one change I would love to see in Mythic Plus is get rid of the penalty for death. You already are being penalized because you got to run back. The 15-second timer kill for deaths is absolutely punishing. I feel like it breeds toxicity. People get really mad at each other. It causes people to leave, too. So if they can ever fix that, drop it altogether or lessen it at least. That would be great, because right now the 15-second drop-off for each death is pretty damn punishing. Operation Floodgate, as I mentioned before, is the new dungeon. This one we have some information on now. We got the different bosses here. We got Big Mama, which will be tested today starting. Giesel, Gigazap is the other boss. Swamp Phase, and the Demolition Duo. So you got a 4-boss dungeon here. This is a story about how they're going to dynamite break the dam and basically flood Undermine. A nice little background story there. And here is something else, some background related to Undermine that we might not have heard about yet, but we may already have hints for. Undermine itself may become a hub of travel throughout all of Azeroth. Now, I'm not pulling at nothing here. I've got a reason for this. The reason why I'm saying it is actually very historic. So if you don't know, Undermine has existed since the very beginning of World of Warcraft. This is an ancient map. Metzen in 1999 drew this map of Azeroth, right? Kalimdor much more small here. Size does matter. You know, I always said, what's it called? The Eastern Kingdoms was better to begin with, and it sure does look that way here. Kalimdor eventually grows, but Undermine was an original piece of the original map drawn of World of Warcraft. So we see Undermine here. Northrend here, TOS, I'm not sure what that would mean. Maybe to be deterred something, some kind of spot. Lordaeron up here, Khazmodan. So Eastern Kingdoms looked like it had itself all set. But Kalimdor was still a work in progress. Here we see a later map where Undermine remained, right? We see Undermine remaining. Kalimdor looks much more like the kidney that it currently is today. We see, what's it called? Eastern Kingdoms over here, Northrend, and Undermine down here at the bottom, which was currently where we see like Pandaria, right, on our current maps. So that in mind, right, look at all these travel waypoints from Undermine, right? We got like, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pathways here. Interesting, leading from Undermine to different places in Azeroth. Now, if we look into some of the pictures that have been released of Undermine, everyone's been talking about this. Maybe you missed it, maybe you didn't. But it looks like there's a little Undermine traveling depot here. So if we look here, there are tunnels, and people who've seen different angles of this image counted 5 different tunnels. I see 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. People are thinking maybe Undermine could become the travel hub that it was originally meant to be, right? Learn to count, Sam. What did I miss? I counted 5 damn lines. You guys tripping? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, my God. Chat, you're always making me fucking second guess myself. As I was saying, this could be the travel hub, the travel port, whatever it could be. It could be a cool place to get around, could be a good spot for people to go to, a good spot to set your Hearthstone maybe, to travel to the different continents. Some of the original waypoints that were talked about for Undermine before it was ever introduced were Booty Bay, Bilgewater Harbor, Gadget Scan were some of the first locations, and those make sense considering they are typical Goblin locations. Whether or not this comes to fruition, whether or not this is what this actually is, we'll have to wait and see, but hints have been dropped from the very beginning, and I think it could be likely that we see Undermine become a traveling hub.